Before I continue, let me ask you something. What would frighten you more? Seeing something terrible, or being unable to explain what you saw? Because on that street, fear didn't just silence people. It erased them. By the time the police became involved, half the street was already empty. Not abandoned slowly. Abandoned suddenly. Homes with doors unlocked. Clothes still in wardrobes. Food left in kitchens. Let me ask you, who leaves their life behind like that, unless staying feels more dangerous than disappearing? The police began with questions. Simple ones. When did this start? Who was last seen? What changed? But every conversation ended the same way. People looked away. Hands shook. Voices failed. Some opened their mouths. And no sound came out. Let me ask you this, what kind of fear steals language itself? Officers noticed something strange. Every report connected to the street went missing. Paper files misplaced. Digital records corrupted. Even the street name caused computers to freeze. Let me ask you, how does a location begin to erase itself? Some officers decided to visit the street at night. They said the air felt heavy, not hot. Not cold. Heavy. Like the ground itself was pressing upward. Dogs barked uncontrollably. Streetlights flickered. And every officer reported the same feeling. They were being watched. Let me ask you, how do you fight something you can't see, but can feel? One officer stood near the couple's compound. He said he felt dizzy. He said the house looked wrong. Not broken. Not abandoned. Just wrong. The windows were lit. But there were no shadows inside. Let me ask you this, what kind of light casts no shadow? That night, one officer heard a sound beneath his feet. Scraping. Slow. Deliberate. He said it felt like something moving, under the street. Let me ask you, what if the ground beneath your home was no longer empty? The police tried to question the couple. They knocked. No answer. They knocked again. The sound stopped inside. When the gate finally opened, the couple stood there calmly. Smiling. Not confused. Not surprised. Let me ask you, why would someone smile when the police arrive at their door? Inside the house, officers felt sick. Walls were marked with strange scratches. The floor had been disturbed again. And in the center of the room, the box. Open. Empty. Let me ask you this, if the box was empty, where did its contents go? The couple did not resist arrest. They did not speak. They simply followed instructions. Smiling. Let me ask you, what kind of person smiles when everything around them is falling apart? That night, several officers reported nightmares. The same one. Digging. Darkness. Something breathing beneath the ground. And that was when the police realized, this was no longer an investigation. It was containment. So let me leave you with this question. If a place can break minds, erase words, and hide its own history, what do you think will happen? When the ground itself is finally opened, the truth will be uncovered. The street will be erased. And what was buried, will demand to be sealed again. Stay with me. Let me ask you something before we end this story. Do you believe places can remember? Not people. Not buildings. But the ground itself. Because what the police uncovered beneath that house was older than the street, older than the houses, and never meant to be disturbed. Heavy equipment arrived at dawn. The remaining neighbors watched from a distance. Silent. No questions. No curiosity. Let me ask you, what kind of discovery makes people stop asking questions? As the floor of the house was broken open, the smell returned. Stronger. Older. Something that made workers step back. Beneath the house was a chamber. Sealed. Deliberately. Let me ask you this, who seals something underground, unless they know it must never be found? Inside the chamber were remains. Not arranged. Not buried properly. Mixed. Human. Animal. And objects identical to those found in the box. The coins were not wealth. They were offerings. Let me ask you. If something demands offerings, what happens when they stop? The leather piece was identified. Not a map. Not instructions. A warning. A reminder. The box was never meant to be opened. It was meant to remain buried. The couple were transferred. Then erased. No records. No trial. No destination. Let me ask you. How do people simply vanish from official existence? The house was demolished. The street renamed. New records created. But the land refused to cooperate. Construction failed. Workers quit. Equipment malfunctioned. Let me ask you this, what if the ground remembers what was taken from it? Today, people still avoid the area. No signs. No warnings. Just instinct. Some claim that on quiet nights, you can still hear digging. Slow. Patient. Let me ask you, if something is digging its way back, do you think it wants to be found? So let me ask you one final question. If you discovered something buried beneath your home, something sealed for a reason, would you open it? Or would you walk away, knowing some treasures are buried to protect us from what lies beneath?
Another neighbor shared a memory she had never reported. She said that on stormy nights she sometimes heard knocking sounds, slow knocks, with long pauses between them. She believed it was just the wind, until the night police arrived. That same night, several neighbors reported hearing the knocks again, but this time the sound stopped suddenly, just before police sirens filled the street.
If you want to uncover more hidden horrors and follow the mysteries that lurk in the shadows, make sure you subscribe now. You don't want to miss what comes next.